Okay, I'm gonna go over the loop choke. I'm gonna go over all the details and I guess kind of my hidden secrets of getting the loop choke to work. It was hard in the beginning to get loop choke completed or successfully done, and I'm gonna give my secret tips on how to get loop chokes to work. But before we do that, I really want to ask you all for please subscribe and like, and build up my subscriptions and more followers, and then I can come up with more instructionals. This one's going to be a really in-depth instruction on the loop choke, so I would say stick around and watch all 5 or 6 minutes because it's going to be helpful for you if you want to loop choke somebody. Okay, so starting. Okay, first thing you got to do when you do a loop choke is you need to grab the collar in the right position here. Okay, to me, when I feel my knuckles on his collarbone, I know I can loop choke perfectly. Right? I think a lot of people do is they start too deep. You're not going to loop choke here. This is not going to work to loop choke because his head, and I kind of get him in the pocket here. Okay? So when I grab the collar, I want my knuckles in his collarbone. So here we go, collarbone. And then the second thing is I need to be higher than his head. Okay? If I'm down here, I cannot loop choke him. So I want to be able to pop up and get higher and grab his head. His head's going to be up. I want to grab the back of his head, shove it down. Okay? Push it to my armpit, and then if you can see underneath, my wrist is in his neck. Okay, so we start here. 1, I get higher, I pull his head and push it into my armpit, and this hand will push his head down, and this hand I'm going to crank the choke watch. Okay, so my hands are going up, and I'm pushing the back of his head down. Okay, so it's 2 motions. Chopping down, and collar pulling up with my wrist. Okay, so one more time. We're going collarbone. I get up higher, his head can be up, but I get up higher, pull his head, push it in the bread basket, push behind his head. You see how I'm pushing down and pulling up. Okay. Now, in a live sparring situation, I think a lot of people have to understand the angle. Okay. So if I do right hand, if I go right hand in the collar, I need Sterling to go to my left to loop choke. Okay. If he passes to my right, I cannot loop choke him. You see this angle? His head cannot go in the bread basket here. So you have to be aware that right hand, you want to bait them to go to my left. Okay? So as he goes to my left, I'm going to grab the back of his head, pop it in, and then do the choke. Okay? Now, a lot of guys pass to my right. Okay? So I'm going to always go left hand, knowing he wants to pass this way. Okay? So look at my legs here. I'm going to keep my legs in favor and make him go that way. So he passes, he's on the side I want, and see his head is already down. All I need to do is come up, push his head in, and then apply the choke. Okay? Again, setting up the choke is not just the collarbone, but the direction that your partner is going to try to pass guard. Okay? A lot of times, beginners, you don't even understand this, and you go this way, and they pass the weak side, and you can't get a loop choke. It's impossible. Okay, now, another helpful tip that I've been playing with too is when I get my grip here, I like to put in my butterfly, because this will slow him down from passing, and with this right foot, I want to put it on his leg here, on his knee. Because what's happening when he tries to pass, I push that leg out. You see his head comes down, I can push it in for the loop choke. See that? So I'm breaking his posture by pushing this leg out. His head drops into the loop choke. Okay, this whole scenario gets a lot of people in that loop choke. It's the direction, the grip, and the breaking of the posture. Okay? So when I set up my initial grips is collar, and I shoot my hook, and then my right foot's last because they try to grab my foot, but I'm gonna push it out. Boom. Grab his head and loop choke. So with all of that in play, what normally happens is guys don't want to get loop choked. They pull back and then they start backpedaling. Stand up. Yes. You see how he's pulling back? Might even reach up for my grip. And all I want to do now is just tap the knee, push him over. Okay. So that's a good easy sweep. And he's going to pull back hard because he doesn't want to get choked. Okay. Another scenario I like getting a sweep off of this is when I hit my loop choke, they're going to roll out. So you feel that roll? Yes! And I just carry that roll right to knee on belly. So I love the loop choke. You know, I think most times I won't get the submission, but because it's a real threat, I'll get a sweep. Okay. And my favorite, I think, in this whole system is going right hand because I'm right-handed, and just from here I just threaten it. They back out. Okay, take him over. Take the top. Because everyone kind of knows I'm going to loop choke them. And I'll just be really threatening with it. Right? I might even pull and then go and make him roll and take that knee on belly. So with that, I think those follow-up moves there is very advantageous for me. And if you play this game, you can put in a collar drag on top of it, ankle pick, push over, or force him to roll to knee on belly. So loop choke is more valuable for me to threaten it and follow up with a move than to actually finish people. And that's the secret with loop choke. Because loop choke, it doesn't feel bad until you start getting choked. But most people are gonna roll out of it, but I end up on top, right? In Jiu-Jitsu, that's what you wanna do in any roll. You wanna end up in a dominant position, you wanna end up on top. So, I'm getting the job done, but it's not for them to like go, oh, he's gonna sweep me. No, they're worried about the choke. So I think having this double attack is very useful. Because if they don't move, they're gonna tap, they get choked. And they get used to, they're gonna pull back, you get on top. But I think right now, more likely they're gonna roll out of it and they get knee on belly. My hand's in the collar. I like having hand in the collar because you get control and you can follow up with a submission or cross choke. So that's my secret with the loop choke. If you guys find that useful, please like and subscribe. I have more instructionals to come. Thanks.